racial talk that is aimed at dividing us offends me. Greed that leaves the large majority of Guyanese in poverty and hardship offends me. If it offends me, then I know it offends many of my fellow Guyanese out there, all of you. And that is why I humbly ask your permission to continue my conversation, to explain why I have made this decision to support the Apnu-Afc with my vote on May 11th. Thank you very much. I will continue. I am not very good at vulgar politics, hurling abuse around and so on. So I will try to convey my message in this way. The PPP of Chetty Jagans is no more. What remains is a sad grouping of people whose ego got the better of them. Greed and power has made them let go of his vision. They are so out of touch with the vast majority of the people that they don't even realize the damage that they have done. They mistake their own prosperity and the prosperity of their friends as prosperity for all Guyanese. And I want to repeat that so they can hear me and Kitty where they are, probably huddled somewhere with two people in front of them. They mistake their own prosperity and that of their friends as the prosperity of 99% of the Guyanese people. And now I would like you to answer me truthfully, because you all look like a set of people that will answer me truthfully. Okay? Do you feel that this PPP version of progress is it causing your life to bloom, as they say? Is your life blooming? Thank you very much. I hope they can hear you. You know, going to Dr. Jagans' grave site and holding up his image can't bring his vision back for Guyana. Dr. Jagans' vision has been smashed. Even his children, Nadira and Joy, said so, and they have endorsed our platform. There are a few people in that party who still want to uphold his vision, but they cannot from within inside that party because that party has become too rancid. I say to my friends in the PPP, on May 11th, tick your X in the box that says Apnu-Afc. You stand a better chance of restoring the image of your party under the umbrella of a united Guyana. Any other vote will be a wasted vote. It will change nothing. We are thankful that two of those people from within that party, a son from your village, Moses Nagamutu, and Mr. Kemraj Ramjatan are here with us tonight. They have been called every nasty name in the book, but they were wise enough to get out and to speak out. They are now free to build a future through the Apnu-Afc, a future of a united Guyana which Dr. Jagans would be proud of. I want to mention a loyal foot soldier who left the PPP also when he saw it going down the drain. He worked up to the end of his life, and he is from your village too. He called me from his deathbed in New York and he said, please keep going until we get a united Guyana. He was my friend and Rocky brother, Mr. Lionel Peters, may God rest his soul. I will tell you a story about Dr. Jagans, and I want you to tell me whether you think that the PPP as you know it today represents that man. Dr. Jagans came to Toronto back in the 1980s to speak at the York University. It was organized by Sash Saw, one of their own, God rest his soul. Right. I was a student at that university. I got to the lecture hall early to get the best seat to hear Dr. Jagans speak. And I waited, and I waited. Finally, word came that he entered, as he was entering the university compound, he noticed some Canadian university workers picketing. He told the organizers that he could not cross the picket line. He had to show them solidarity. This was not his country. It was not his people. But he wanted to stand up for them. Now I ask you this, people of Guyana, do you think that the PPP of today has that kind of strong concern for their very own ordinary Guyanese people? Do they have that kind of strong moral conviction? Answer me truthfully. I rest my case. Enough said about them, let us move on. Berbicians, Guyanese, all, whether you like it or not, you are going to lead the way in the development of a united Guyana. You are going to lead the way, so get ready. We know that there are hundreds of empty houses scattered in every village where proud Berbicians once lived. The Jandy flags and flowers in their beautiful gardens are now faded, and their homes are looked over by caretakers. If we stand and do nothing, this will become a county of caretakers, while the residents of Berbice try to find places where they can find prosperity, other countries. Many of these proud Berbicians are somewhere in a cold country, locked in a small apartment. The old people are sad. They can't go to their temples and their mosques anymore. They can't hear the Kiskadis. They are sad. Many Berbicians have applied for status and can't bring themselves to go on that plane. So far, from 2005 to 2014, 49,368 Guyanese have legally left Guyana for the US. Why are they leaving if Guyana is blooming? Something does not add up here. How can this government be pointing their fingers at us and telling us in those glossy television commercials, we believe in you? Why? Why are the people of Guyana not believing them? Why are the people still ready to run out of here the first opportunity that they get? Maybe they are pointing their fingers at us, brothers and sisters, and they are threatening us that we have no choice but to put up with more of their skullduggery and bad governance. What are you going to do? Turn off the channel? Don't look at them. Many of the families in this county are quietly suffering the most dreadful pain of all, having lost their sons and daughters to suicide. I have spent the last 2 years trying to raise awareness about the crisis of suicide in Guyana, but particularly in Berbice. We have held seminars and distributed posters, and we're still trying. I have written to the government of Guyana. They have not even had the manners to reply to me. I resorted to my friends in the international media, and 750 news services around the world carried the story about Guyana's crisis with suicide. So the world now knows that we have a problem. They are watching us, and we have to fix that problem. How can the world take us seriously? How can they come here and invest if our people are dying like dogs being flung to the side of the road while the government speeds on with their selfish ambitions. Our researchers tell us that a lack of jobs and opportunities that would help young people to develop their minds and an overall sense of hopelessness is causing many young Berbicians to plunge into the worst depression. For many who are poor and have poor coping skills, that depression ends in suicide. Guyana is ripped apart every time one young person dies. We in the APNU can hear what you are saying to us. We get it. But we ask you all to hold on to life. It does not have to be this way. We need your help to put this right. We make a pact with you here tonight that if you are one of those young people, we are reaching out our hand to you and we're asking you to take it. Give us a chance to bring opportunities for all. Jobs, much needed counseling services, healing, happiness, and smiles to your faces once more. We know we can do it, and we are ready. To the majority of women scattered across Berbice and all over Guyana, we know that many of you are barely putting food on your tables for your families. We know that you want to buy the pretty things that you see in your shops to decorate your homes, but you can't afford it. We know that putting food on the table is more important. We also know that many of you neglect yourselves just to provide for your families. And we know that despite all that you do and all the sacrifices that you make, you are being abused and beaten, and many of you wake up aching and crying in silence and in pain. And you're living in homes where there is a lot of misery. You love your husbands, but you cannot understand why there is so much cruelty in this country. The bodies of young women are washing up dismembered on our shores. We want to say to you, the problem is much bigger than the misery that is in the homes across Guyana. We in the APNU-AFC would like to give you the opportunity to begin to fix a lot that has gone horribly wrong in Guyana. We need to create the conditions for new jobs in every sector that pay well so that our menfolk can provide properly for their families. They too are menfolk. Too many Guyanese men drown their sorrows in alcohol and abuse of the people that they love the most, because they find it so hard to make ends meet. And many of them have lost pride in themselves. We have exciting new infrastructure projects in areas of agriculture, Guyana, a global player. But most importantly, our plan for development and improvement of Guyana does not leave you, the ordinary people, behind.